With my dad's experience and then later my mom's experience, it's really given me a dogged determination to take care of that patient in front of me. My dad was in Vietnam. He was actually an airplane mechanic. His hearing was severely affected by the high-frequency jet and prop engines that he was working on. One time when I was very little, my mom said I grabbed his face and said, "I'm crying," because I was crying and he was oblivious and couldn't even hear me. My dad spent a lot of time with us as kids. I've floated down that Sacramento River with him probably 1,000 times. He got hearing aids in the early 80s and they just didn't perform as good as he had hoped, and so he kind of gave up on them. And then business was hard. Relationships and interpersonal relationships kind of started slipping away. Getting into this industry, being able to see that I could help people, each person and family member that comes in, you just want to be able to educate them to love on each other and be empathetic with each other and patient and gracious and kind of put yourself in their shoes. When I started, it was very difficult for me to have a patient in front of me and not picture my dad. So I did have a lot of those feelings come back that I go, oh, I hope this gentleman's teenager or children didn't, feel as offended as I did at times, or weren't as rude as I was at times, not understanding it. And going through the licensing process and learning about it, it just really hit home for me. And I don't know that I ever even verbalized it, or maybe until now, that it was really a spot in my heart that I just said, I've learned so much about my situation, learning about hearing loss and the physiology and the physics of sound. Being able to have that patient in the chair in front of me and go, that's somebody's mother, father, and there's a lot of people that don't understand what they're going through around them, and I was one of those people. That shaped how I look at my patient in front of me. And then I look at them and I see all the relationships that all the good stuff in their life comes from, and how hard that must be. When I started at Upstate, seeing a culture of family, it was more relational from the day that I stepped in. His culture of communication and advocacy, always trying to do what you can to get the patient in front of you hearing better the same day, was really impressive to me. Just about the last 10 years, he's had access to really good hearing aids and been very pleased with them. He's back to his gregarious self that, loves teasing grandkids and loving on his family. And it's great even talking to my dad on the phone now. And he can hear me just fine, and talking about fishing and going out to catch kokanee salmon. That communication later in life has become more important, although he's starting to look a little more like me in his old age. All the good stuff in life comes from relationship.